What's up guys, Josh here from Testing 123 Reviews with a brand new lick of the day for you. So what we have going on there is a kind of Richie Kotzen inspired thing, using quite a lot of his trademark phrases. So we're starting off with some chromaticism, going into some arpeggios, then the slidey vibrato that both him and Greg Howe use, and then ending up with a final crescendo using his double stop barring technique with pentatonics. The guitar's in standard tuning and with the key of A. This will work over nicely over an A Dorian sort of feel. So we're starting at the 10th fret, and this beginning part of the lick has sort of a swung feel to it to kind of get that more jazzy, bebop-y type of phrasing, which Richie did on his early solo albums on the Shrapnel Records. So we are starting with the chromatic climb up from the G up to the A. So we got, and then we have an E minor 7 arpeggio. So we start from the chromatic up to B on the 9th fret of the D string, up to the 12th fret D string, playing the minor 7 of the E minor 7 arpeggio. So pulling off, and then doing this descending pattern on the E minor 7 arpeggio in groups of 4. So pulling off from the minor 7 to the 5th, G the minor 3rd, down to E on the root note, down to D again on the minor 7, and then starting from the B. So far we have. And then we climb back up that chromatic passage. And then the rest of it is pentatonic. So we slide up from the root note of A to the minor 3rd, and then position 5 of A minor pentatonic, 14th fret D string up to 17th fret D string, 14th fret G string up to 17th fret G string with a slight bend, and then the slidey vibrato, which is quite difficult to get initially, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Like that. Sorry, I got that minor 3rd bend the wrong way round. So after we've done the slidey vibrato, we bend that minor 3rd up just a semitone to get that kind of mixolydian sort of vibe, which is nice. And the very last part is combining shape 5 of A minor pentatonic into shape 1 and a little bit of Dorian in there, using this barring technique. Now I'm using hybrid picking, but you can use alternate picking, whichever you prefer. So we are hammering on from 14th fret D string onto the 17th fret of the D string, and then barring, catching the 17th fret of the G. And then pulling off and hammering on again. Like that. And then sliding up to the next position, which is 17th fret D string and 19th fret D string, hammering up and then barring onto the 19th fret of the G. And this is when we get a bit of Dorian in there, where we are hammering 17th fret of the G onto the 19th fret G, barring onto the 19th fret of the B string. And then the very last one is the old faithful 17th fret to 20th fret on the B string, and then the same on the high E. And then we resume it with a big bend up to the root note. So that last hammer on pull bit goes like this. So the lick in its entirety at a slower speed sounds something like this. And up to speed. So there you go. As for the techniques I'm using in this, it's the majority of the time I'm using alternate picking, and then it's kind of a mix of sweep picking and a little bit of left hand hammer-ons. And then the rest for the pentatonic part is hybrid picking. So I'm trying to vary the amount of plucking that I do with the middle finger, so it doesn't actually sound like I'm hybrid picking, so it's a bit more of a legato sort of sound, so a lot smoother as opposed to really plucking it like you would if you were playing a country part or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed that lick, and if you haven't heard much of Richie's early solo stuff on the Shrapnel Records, I highly recommend checking it out because it is just terrifyingly good. So there you go, and that's the phone.